Units from the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, in cooperation with other components of the defense forces, have attacked the Borisoglebsk Air Base in Russia's Voronezh Oblast on July 5, where Su-34, Su-35S and Su-30SM aircraft are based. According to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the operation was carried out by units of the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, in cooperation with other components of the defense forces. A warehouse with guided aerial bombs, a training combat aircraft, and, possibly, other aircraft were hit. The results of the strike are being clarified, the statement said. In the city of Borisoglebsk, Voronezh region, there is the Borisoglebsk Aviation Training Center for flight personnel and the eponymous airbase. Additionally, NASA satellites recorded a fire at the Borisoglebsk military airfield. This is not the first attack on the training center and airbase. In particular, in October 2024, drones of the SSU, SOF, and other defense forces attacked warehouses with guided aerial bombs, parking spots of Su-35 and Su-34 aircraft, as well as aviation fuel storage sites at the Borisoglebsk military airfield. On this night, Russians reported explosions in Borisoglebsk on social media, and satellites recorded a fire in the area of the airfield. On the night of July 5, the Russian Defense Ministry reported intercepting and destroying 94 Ukrainian drones over several Russian regions. Saratov Region Governor Roman Busargin said the Russian Defense Ministry warned of a drone threat. He later reported that residential homes in Engels and Saratov were damaged, allegedly from the drone attacks. Meanwhile, the Telegram channel Astra, citing locals, reported a series of explosions near the Engels military airfield. The Ukrainian Air Force has detected and targeted the positions of the occupying Russian army in the southern part of the country. As a result of the strikes carried out by the MiG-29 fighter with the US-made GBU-39 aerial bomb, the field control point of the occupying Russian army, the officers there and the soldiers preparing for the attack were destroyed. In addition, the military ammunition and combat complexes in the area were exploded and destroyed. It should be noted that the strikes of the Ukrainian aviation on the positions of the Russian army in the occupied territories, as well as in the border regions of Russia, have increased. As a result of the strikes carried out with Western-made aerial bombs, a significant number of personnel and military equipment of the occupying Russian army have been destroyed. A group of prisoners of war detained in Russia returned to Ukraine Friday as part of the ongoing exchanges negotiated between the two countries during talks in Istanbul last month, according to the body that oversees the exchanges. According to Associated Press in a post on the messaging app Telegram, the coordination headquarters for the treatment of prisoners of war said the group who were classified as wounded and seriously ill were returned from captivity. It did not say how many people were released but said the youngest was 20 and the oldest 59, adding that many had been held since 2022. Dozens of relatives of Ukrainian POWs and missing soldiers came to a hospital in Kiev to welcome some of the exchanged servicemen. Among them was Lyubov Demenkova with her 9-year-old daughter Sofika. She told the Associated Press her husband Ihor Demenkov went missing in July last year and has not received any information about him since. He was mobilized on Sofika's birthday, she said. Now she doesn't really like this holiday, she doesn't like to celebrate it, because it is associated with sad events.
214 фор!
Ви найкращі! Дякуємо вам!
Ми шукаємо чоловіка, тата. Він у нас рік уже як зниклий безвісти. Оце 6 числа буде. Зник він у нас на Харківському напрямку, на Липецькому, поблизу населеного пункту Глибоке. Уже рік ми не маємо жодних вістей. Там зникло, з тих, що нам відомо, це около 300 хлопців. Це тільки ті, чиїх рідних ми знайшли. Жоден з них не обліковується не живим, не мертвим, не полоненим. От просто наче не існувало цих хлопців, наче вони десь ділись. Ми їздимо на обміни, Софійка перший раз, з надією, що хоч хтось скаже, що буде хоч якась звісточка, що він живий, що він в полоні. Можливо, хоч хтось із його побратимів з цього напрямку. Тобто це вже також буде як ниточка. Ще більше вірити, ще більше надіятись. Він у війську із 6 березня 24-го року, а 6 липня він уже зник безвісти. Тобто він повоював зовсім трохи від моменту мобілізації. Речі, мобілізували в нас його на Софійки на день народження вперше. Тому вона тепер у нас не дуже любить це свято, не любить його святкувати, бо воно пов'язане з сумними такими от подіями.
Також хочу сказати, що ви теж побратима, свого друга, який теж знаходиться около вас. Заспокоїлося? Заспокоїлося?
28-ма бригада є, тут чули про Олександр.
Левша, Таганенко, 3 года уже, 3 года, мальчики, милые. Дякую Богу, що ви вдома.
Білоус Андрій! Білоус Андрій!
Це Плайка Макар.